Hello, and thanks for stopping by. This is volume 208 of My Prostate is Trying to Kill Me. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer, and I'm happy to have you along for the ride. It is Tuesday. If you saw the video last night, you got a chance to see my kids, my daughter, my granddaughter, and her fiance, my daughter's fiance, not my granddaughter's fiance. We're here for a visit, so we were out having some lunch. They did leave this morning, which is sad for me, and I guess I would call it a little bit bittersweet because now I'm in charge of cleaning up the house. So I got laundry going, I got vacuum cleaner out. But I did want to take a break from that because I promised you yesterday in the video that today we were going to have a special interview. Now, Steve Nelson is a member of our cancer crew and has been for quite a while, but you've never had a chance to meet him in person. You've seen him in the videos, and when we go to lunch, you know, he talks in there and that kind of stuff. But this is a chance for you to get to meet Steve up close and personal and find out why I lovingly refer to him as the animal. So Steve, I'm going to leave this with you. If you would run us through your, when were you diagnosed? How have you gone with your treatment? And what is the big event that's coming up in just a couple of days in your life?
Okay, I can do that. So first, you call me the animal. I say I'm just an average guy fighting prostate cancer like everybody else. I just happen to do Ironman triathlon events and some extreme sports, but I've always done that, so there's nothing new there. But the whole prostate cancer, that's all new. That's definitely threw me for a loop. So I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in January. A few cores were 3+4, so 7 on the Gleason score. Was caught very, very early. So there was no metastasis, and everything was pretty well contained in the prostate. So I was able to pick whichever treatment I wanted. The radiation people, they want to do radiation. The urology people, they want to do, they're surgeons, they want to do surgery. We were very fortunate to have a good team of doctors that were very open to everything. The doctor said, you can go any way you want to. You're early enough that one isn't going to be better than the other. Ended up talking to a hematologist that's also an oncologist, so a blood specialist with it, who didn't have any stake in the race. And we gave him all the information, talked with him, and he was kind of like, yeah, you're super early. Why did they even run the tests to figure this out at this point? That's one of the things that he was pretty well, like, almost dumbfounded on. The numbers that you were and everything wouldn't have triggered him to have run any type of tests. So I'm just blessed that wasn't the case, and everybody was being super cautious and ran the biopsies and found the cancer early. So we chose Cyberknife, which is a real high-tech SBRT radiation process. 5 sessions. The sessions run 40 to 45 minutes each, laying on the table. So
and that's the big difference between, like, the proton that I had. There was 28 treatments, but they were only less than 10 minutes for the whole thing. So you're laying on the table for 45 minutes at a time, having it done.
Yeah. So they're blasting away at you for 40, 45 minutes at a shot. So the intensity of the radiation per session is a lot higher, but the number of sessions is a lot lower. So trying to train, stay fit, our lifestyle, everything, we went 5 and done, and you read all the reports and everybody's like breezed through this and they don't have any big side effects. Everything's wonderful. And we kind of went like, hey, this is for us. So absolutely, this was a mutual decision between my wife and myself and family. It's not something that I kept to myself to make the decision on. We enlisted help from anybody and everybody and got as many points of view as possible. Bottom line is you have to be comfortable with the decision that you make, because once you go down the path, you can't change it. And so that's what we did. We went Cyberknife. It was good. As side effects go, talking to the radiologist, I ended up on the bad side of almost all of the side effects. So that just, grumpy, irritable, weakness, fatigue, bowel issues, bladder issues. I couldn't make it from the bed to the couch for almost a week. I was happy to be able to walk, 2 houses down the street and back. It was tough. Since then, things are better. They say, oh, those last like, 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, right. They lasted longer than 2 to 3 weeks. But I was able to get back to training. So we did the Cyberknife in the end of April, finished up. And in May, by the end of May, I was back to feeling tired, but able to start riding the bike again, get in the pool again, and start to walk, not run. I also ended up with a big weight gain. And that was a big surprise to me. So metabolism changed. And that threw me for a loop. And I did not actually solve or help solve some of the metabolism issues until just a few weeks ago. So we would go out on a long training ride. Let me define long for you. 7 hours, almost 100 miles on a bike ride. And I would get 50, 60 miles into it and just want to fall over and not go anywhere. Turns out through this whole process, I wasn't metabolizing carbohydrates very well out of my system. So I needed to eat a ton more carbohydrates. So there's an experience for you. Normally you go to the store and you're looking at carbohydrates and you're saying, hey, it's got 5 grams of carbohydrates. No, I don't want that. It's too much. Here we're looking at energy bars and stuff going, oh, it has 25 grams of carbohydrates. Not enough. So we settled on some bars that have about 40 grams of carbohydrates per bar. So I'm now consuming, during exercise, I'm now consuming about 250 calories an hour and 60 grams of carbohydrate.
And yet your body is burning that off as you're putting it in.
Yeah, so I have not gained, the weight gain is under control. The weight's not under control, but the weight gain is under control. So I'm maintaining, not where I want to be, not even close to where I want to be, but I'm maintaining the weight.
Mm-hmm. So you've got now coming up Thursday, I think you're leaving, right?
Yeah, we're leaving Thursday.
Okay. And on the green screen behind you, I can see different stages of you. Explain to everybody what those photos are.
Okay, so the photos behind me, they're different Ironman events that I've done. So I have done 3 full Ironman triathlons. We've done numerous halves, tons of Olympics and sprints. So these are the pictures mostly from the Ironman events. So an Ironman event, to put it in context for you, is 2.4 mile swim. And I always say, if you don't drown, you get to get on the bicycle and you get to ride 112 miles on the bicycle. And if you don't fall over on the bicycle, you get to run 26.2 miles on the marathon course. So it's 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a full marathon. And you need to accomplish this in 17 hours or less. So the pictures behind me. So this picture here is from Arizona, and I did my full in Arizona. I finished, I don't know what the clock says. One of them I finished in 16 hours and 5 minutes. The other was 15:30 something. And the other pictures here, they're just other pictures on different courses that people have taken during the events.
All right. And you're heading up this Thursday to Sacramento, and you're going to actually be doing an Ironman on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday.
This Sunday.
Sunday.
So we're we're packing the bikes up. We have one more bike workout today, one more run tomorrow, and then we drive to Sacramento, prep everything, which is no small task in itself, because you have to have your swim clothes, your bike clothes, your run clothes. You have to have nutrition for the day, hydration for the day. It's not like just packing a little suitcase and going. It's a ton of equipment and gear that goes with you. So we'll leave on Thursday, get to Sacramento, check in on Friday. We'll preview the course on Friday. Saturday is just rest day. We'll probably walk around a little bit, but mostly it's called eat and keep your feet up and do as little as possible. Sleep well Friday night. Try and sleep Saturday night, which you might get 4 hours sleep before the race.
So
You're
excited and amped up and ready to go.
Yeah, you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning anyway, prepping for the race and getting to where the starts are going to be. So it's a full day. The race technically starts at 7 a.m. and finishes at midnight. There's nothing.
So what I want to try and impress upon our viewers here is that this, if you were doing an Ironman, well, in fact, let's use your past Ironman. What you said you have 17 hours to complete this. What were some of your times before you were diagnosed with cancer?
So swim time, I'm out of the water in an hour and 25 minutes. So that's 2.4 miles, an hour and 25 minutes. That's pretty good. It's not phenomenal, but it's pretty good. It's in front of the pack. I'm a good swimmer. Swam through elementary school, high school, college. I'm a swimmer. The day is, what I was trying to tell everybody is it's a really long day and it's 3 long workouts. And if you approach it as 3 long workouts, you can get through it. If you approach it as a race, and I'm an amateur. I'm an age group amateur, back at the packer. So I'm not a competitive racer for this. But it's 3 long workouts. If you sprint the swim, you can't do the bike and you can't do the run. If you're a good cyclist and you hammer the bike ride, you have nothing left in your legs to do the run. So everything that you do all day long, you have to look forward to the next event, and you have to maintain and hold back energy for the next event, or you're just going to hit the wall and not make it. So I do a hour and 25 minute swim, typical 6.5 to 7 hour, 112 mile bike ride, and a 7 hour run. So, speed on the bike, 16 miles an hour. Speed on the run, I'm doing a 16-minute mile. And you just keep, it's an endurance race. It's not a sprint. It's not go out there and just, yay, this is going to be fun and go all out. If you go all out, you're not making it today. You're just not going to make it.
Okay. And you know what? We were talking about your Cyberknife treatment for your radiation. I completely forgot to ask you, where are you at now as far as your PSA and are you undetectable at this point?
So I'm not undetectable. So actually, it's funny. I went back through my records to see what the high was, and tons of stuff affect your PSA. So the highest I was I found it was 5.6. And that pretty much, I think, triggered, because it's above 4. So that's like, hey, what's going on here? And I am currently at 0.6. So having that big a drop at the 3-month, 4 or 5 month mark, they're saying from 5.6 to that is you're in remission. It should drop from here more. So with Cyberknife, it's a radiation treatment. I did not have my prostate removed. I still have my prostate. It's just been blasted. And so that's the big difference between radiation.
Okay. So now they've got you on that. You're going to get checked every 3 months.
I get checked about every 3 months. I've got other doctors that I go to that are really cool for other types of blood work and stuff. I tend to watch my blood work and my health probably a little closer than a lot of people do. And so I've got a team of doctors that are really, really good. And so, for instance, the radiologist, when I asked the radiologist that, hey, can I do a testosterone test, and can I do my lipids, and can I do a couple other things, if you're going to draw blood, He was like, no, all we can do is PSA. And I said, well, okay, I'll go to my other set of doctors and ask them just to make sure that they do PSA. And that worked really well. So I was able to feed him back just the PSA information, but I was able to then get all of the blood work information that I was looking for.
I'll tell the viewers too that when I first met you, I was inspired after talking to you because you told me that, hey, you're responsible for your health. You're responsible for choosing the right doctor, for asking the right questions, for getting in there. And also you helped me see that, doctors are not gods. They're human beings just like us. Just they went to medical school and they learned, how to heal people or how to work towards healing people. And after that, I felt so much more comfortable talking to my doctors. It's like, hey, I don't have to be afraid to ask questions. I'm not questioning your training. I'm not saying anything about your abilities as a doctor. This is a question I have about my body and about what's happening in it. And I shouldn't feel uncomfortable asking it. So I'm extremely thankful to you because before that, I was like that little mouse, like, oh, if I say anything, he's going to think I'm questioning his medical ability. And now I'm not. I mean, I'm actually changing one of my doctors because of that. I'm not comfortable with the way things are going, so I'm heading for a different one.
And that's a hard thing to do, but I'm really, you know how strong I am on that point.
Mm-hmm.
I ask people directly. I look at people and say, who is in charge of your medical care? And I'll look you straight in the eyes and ask you, who's in charge of your medical care? And most people look at you and say, well, my doctor is. And it's like, wrong answer. You are in charge of your health. You're in charge of your medical care. They have expertise that you don't have. They can interpret the results and stuff that we're not trained to do. But if you're not getting the care that you need, the attention that you need, if you go into the doctor and they ask you, and this is one of the problems, the same exact questions over and over, you answer them the same exact way. You tell them, I answered that question 3 months ago when we talked. Why are you still asking that same question? Then what's that doctor doing for you?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be comfortable with your doctor. You need to be able to ask him any question. And like I said, he could only do the PSA for the blood. I went like, well, I'm going over here because they'll run any blood test pretty much that I want, and they do, and I feed them back and forth so that all my doctors know that I have a team of doctors working with me. It's not just one doctor. So it's the oncologist. I have a heart specialist. I have a number of doctors that I work with, and I like really well.
Mm-hmm. And that's the important thing too, is you need to be comfortable with the person that's providing you with medical care. If you're not,
I had a cardiologist I didn't like. I didn't like the direction he was going. I found a new cardiologist, and explained to him what I was looking for, and explained to him over the phone why I was looking for that. And he was like, great, come on in. I understand exactly where you're headed with this. Because before doing Ironman training, and it's really, really intensive workouts. I got a full physical. I went to the cardiologist and got a full treadmill echo to make sure that the heart was doing exactly what it's supposed to do, so that you could get them to sign you off for the load and the intensity of workouts that this type of event takes.
And it is amazing too, because in addition to doing the Ironman, this guy pretty much, I don't know, you're really not home that much. He goes camping, riding in the desert. You've got a new toy coming on the way. It's funny, yesterday when we pulled up in your driveway, my daughter was looking at the driveway and she goes, holy moly, look at all these toys. I said, you're not even seeing the whole of it. This is a man who likes to go out to the desert and have a good time, to go out and go down to the beach for the weekend. Although I got to say, your trip to San Diego, I'm not sure that there was a whole lot of joy in that, because didn't you do a 112-mile ride down there?
Yeah. So we went to San Diego camping with some friends. So the part of it was twofold. One, get away from the house, and just get to a new environment. And the other is all of the routes and stuff that we train on and use, we've used all year. And so it was time to get some different perspective and run and ride and swim in a different location. So we went down to do an event called Shark Fest, which is not laden with sharks, but you start at the convention center in San Diego, the Joe's Crab Shack, and you swim across to the Coronado Island to the base of the Coronado Bridge. So they put it in, they block the boats and everything for you. And this year we had a few hundred people do it, down from where it's been before. A great fun event. And then took the ferry back, changed our clothes, and went for, I think, a 4-hour run. The day before that, we had a friend of us take us to San Clemente and did a 100-mile bike ride from San Clemente down to San Diego. It's Chula Vista, and then around and back, and then did a run after that. So yeah, we were gone most of the time, but totally different environment, and so it's much more enjoyable when you're not doing the same thing at the same place over and over.
Yeah, and the point of that is that even during the radiation, Steve's still an active guy. I'm lucky. We live less than, it's probably just a hair over a mile apart from each other.
Yeah.
And so, we get a chance to see each other often, go to lunch for the cancer crew and that kind of thing. And I have days where I'm lucky if I can, get out of the house and do something because of the side effects. Steve was going through that as well with his radiation, but yet here he is, able to do this. So, my hat's off to you. You're my hero. That's why I call you the animal. And I'm really going to be excited about this coming Sunday. I won't be there, but I'll be rooting you on. And I know you're going to do a great job. And this is going to be your last one, right? This is your last hurrah.
Well, you never say last, but yes, pretty much. We do not have one on the books past this one. We retired 1.5 years ago, and it's time to get on with. Yes, as much as we're gone, it's time to be gone more.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
all right,
and enjoy retirement. So this weekend's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for everyone that does the race. The weather currently predicted for the weekend is about 57 degrees and rain.
Oh.
So the water will be a bit muddy. We're hoping that the E. coli and stuff are good so we can still swim. The wind is going to be anywhere, they're guessing, from 10 to 25 mile an hour winds. So it's going to be rainy and windy, and same thing on the run. It's just going to be a big slog through, but it's going to be a challenge. It always is.
It sounds like it. Did you say E. coli?
Well, yeah. So they test the water for E. coli and bacteria and stuff to make sure that it's safe to swim in. It is the American and the Sacramento River.
Oh, that's right. You're swimming across the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
all that stuff. All that stuff.
Into the Sacramento River.
Yeah, all that stuff flows down. Wow.
All that stuff flows down.
Oh, okay. Because I wasn't sure. I thought you said E. coli. I'm like, did he say E. coli? But I forgot you're swimming across the river. Yeah, because all of that.
There are races, that are shut down because of it.
Yeah, all that crap gets in the water and then comes flowing down to you, and eventually gets to me. Well, not that river, but eventually gets down the ocean here. But that's going to be crazy. Well, Steve, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I know it's a real busy time for you right now. You guys have got to get everything packed up, get your bikes on, get everything ready to head to Sacramento. But man, my prayers are going to be with you. My hopes are going to be with you. And I guess there is a way for me to keep track of you while you're on the race. Is that
a Ironman tracker? And so you just log on to Ironman.com, go to the tracker, and you'll be able to track us all day long. I'll get you more information on that. I don't have a bib number that you can use for a number. Right now, you just have to use my name and city. But
cool. Well, what I'll do is I'll put the web address in the description below. You guys can find it, and then when you click on it on Sunday, if they want to watch, they can put your name in, right? And your okay. So, but Steve Nelson, and then Huntington Beach, and they should be able to find you that way.
Yeah. And then for the run, wearing the shirt that you made me.
Cool. I'm kind of going to be there.
Yeah. Well, the whole cancer crew will be there.
Awesome. Awesome. That's fantastic.
Which then is more pressure to finish, but
well, we're all rooting you on too.
yeah.
So that'll be awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that that people got a chance to get a little more in-depth interview with you. And I feel bad. There's a couple members of the cancer crew that I haven't done that with, and that's just totally my fault. Getting busy and not thinking about it. Because gosh, you've been with us for forever. I mean, since like right after the start, I think you were one of the first guys to show up at Eat at Joe's over there.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it's been and like I always tell people too, I wouldn't have wished to get cancer. I'm not happy I got cancer, but because I'm a silver lining kind of guy, there are things that I'm extremely thankful for. I would have probably never met Steve if it hadn't have been for that. And literally, we live less than a mile from each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one light and one stop sign away. And so everything happens for a reason, I guess. But you're an amazing human being.
Nobody wants to belong to.
Exactly, true. But you're an amazing human being. I'm so happy to have you in my life.
And we'll do a follow-up to this after the race, good, bad, or indifferent.
I would love to, because I'd love to hear the story. I got to imagine.
Story no matter what, right?
Yeah, swimming across the Sacramento River. There's going to be some stuff going on. So, all right. Thanks again, Steve. I appreciate it. Everybody's going to be racing on Sunday. Like I said, I'll put the information below on how you can track them and see how things are going on the race. And then we'll also do a follow-up too. And we'll get to hear a firsthand story of how the event went. And I can guarantee you that's probably going to be a really good story, because unfortunately, cold, windy, and rainy is not the best conditions for running or biking or swimming. And that's exactly what Steve's going to have to do. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate you being here. As always, we appreciate the prayers, the good thoughts, the positive vibes, the aloha, the shaka, the juju, everything you send our way. We appreciate that. And we're sending it right back to you again. So we always pray for the prostate cancer warriors and for those that are supporting them as well. If you'd like to follow along with their journey, go ahead and click on the subscription button below, hit the little bell. It'll notify you every time there's a new video put up. And if you'd like to hit the like button on that, that helps the algorithm. Share this with any other PC warriors that you know. Appreciate you being here. God love you all, and I'll talk to you soon.